Hey guys, we just got back from another horror movie, Oh my God,
Cemetery, right?
Joe, Pet Sematary 1, not Pet Sematary 2. Take that shit off right now. Pet Sematary
It's
2.
such a great film, though.
You're supposed to be
Joe,
wearing a
get out
dress,
of my
right?
house right now.
Kidding,
No, he's kidding.
kidding.
Pet Sematary 2 is one of the worst things ever. The only reason why you'd see it is for Clancy Brown's over-the-top performance.
What if you like weird werewolf sex, though?
And if you like weird werewolf sex, which if you've seen it, you'll know what Joe was referencing there. But, okay, let's not get off track because we're huge Pet Sematary fans, as you can tell. I've seen the original. I've seen Pet Sematary 2. Joe,
Both.
you've seen Pet Sematary 2 multiple times.
Twice in
One
2
with
days.
you again.
And you?
I've seen the original a bunch of times. I was forced to watch part 2, which you're the worst.
You're welcome.
And I read the book forever ago, but I
So
remember
we got
some
the
of it.
trifecta.
So we
Yeah,
got
well-
one book reader amongst us. But needless to say, we're huge Pet Sematary fans. I was very, very nervous about this. I rewatched it recently. I freaking loved it, but I noticed how hokey some of the acting was from the father and the mother. But I love little
Yar.
Miko.
And Lieutenant Yar's in it. I missed her.
Oh, Lieutenant Yar. Yeah, I know. But Miko is so good in it. And what's the character? Judd. And he was played by
Ed Munster.
Yeah.
His name is not Ed
It's
Munster.
not
is.
Munster.
It's Herman Munster.
Herman,
Oh,
okay,
yes.
but he was
Herman.
great in the film as Judd, this sort of friendly country neighbor, and it's just a great film. You need to go out and see Pet Sematary if you haven't. Let's talk though about this Pet Cemetery, 2019, a remake. Very nervous, but excited at the same time to see it. How did it do, guys? How did it do?
I liked it. I think that,
You
people-
liked something?
I like all sorts of things. I don't think it's great, but I think they did a pretty
liked
good
it
job.
too.
Like, if you're expecting a horror film,
Yeah.
and that's what you're in the mood for, and if you have read the book or not read the book, or if you like the first one, I think you're gonna like this one.
Okay.
I mean, it's good as a horror film.
I came in with super high expectations because I was hyping myself up, and I would see the potential is so amazing to update it and do like stuff with the demonic forces being released from the burial and all this other stuff, and all the imagery and the makeup effects, all these things that could be improved on. And the original had some kind of comedy elements and things like that I kind of wanted to see a different take on. And so I went in with high expectations. And I actually learned something. The trailers, I'm sorry if you've seen the trailers. It kind of ruins a little bit of things. But I stayed away from the trailers, but I think it just did an effective job. And I came in with high expectations. So for it to do, I hated it at first.
Really?
I was resisting it. Well, I'll tell you about that in spoilers. There's something I can't talk about because this version chooses to change something. And when I heard that they changed something, I was mad. As a fan, I was like, no, fuck this film. So I went into the film mad. And then when it happened, I was like, you know what? That actually kind of ties in a little bit better. There's several things in this film that I feel improve on it.
For sure.
And sort of make the characters more realistic or tie the family together a little
The
bit more.
motivations
I-
makes more sense.
I loved it. Joe?
Ooh, I'm sorry.
What?
So you guys loved it, apparently.
Yes.
I didn't.
What? It's the
I
first
was
time
pretty
Joe
ex-
didn't
yeah, I
like
was pretty
something.
excited for it, but
Joe's the odd man out.
yeah, this one.
What
it just,
happened?
like, it just felt like an average film to me. Like I don't know what was going
You watch
on.
more horror
Are you a
movies than I
fan of
do.
you're a fan of the
Yes,
original?
Yes, that was so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's some things that really
But
piss
not-
me off.
yeah.
At-
Okay.
I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But
There's a lot of
A
spoilers.
lot of spoiler stuff.
There is.
So we're gonna make this as generic as possible. How do you think the acting was, Alex?
I think that all of the characters, both child actors and the adult ones in this time were great. And I had some problems with the original one with some weird stuff, but I think they did a really good job with most of the acting here. I think they used a lot of really cool practical effects, and I really like the way, like visually, that this movie looked.
Okay.
Yeah, I think everybody did good. I liked John as Judd. He did pretty good as his rendition.
Oh yeah. Lithgow or
Lithgow,
something
yes.
like that. He's good. Yeah, he was good as Judd. I don't know what it is with Jason Clarke. I guess I have a bias
you just
against
don't
him.
like him.
I just do
It's-
not
it's
like
been
this
said
guy.
Before.
Yeah, no, that was the other guy in Terminator. This Terminator hate.
Oh, that guy.
But yeah. So I think that was like, I forget that guy's name. But I don't know. He doesn't have the on-screen charisma of the original father in Pet Sematary, but his acting was so over the top and
Good over the top. This is
good
just like-
over the
this
top.
was just like good for me.
Yeah,
Fun.
exactly.
I'll
There was
believe it. I'll
nothing
take it.
really stood out as bad. Maybe
Yeah.
the daughter at point. No, she did an all right job.
There were some creepy things.
You know what? I was disappointed with the lack of a certain character being in it. I really wanted more of a certain character because I'm such a big fan of the original. But you'll understand why. You any lack of characters or anything like that?
Yeah, Judd.
You thought what? I
Like-
thought Judge was
No,
great.
lack of Judd. I don't feel like they use him enough on this one.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I get what he's saying. I think
I
as
think
much
they
as I love
handled
that
more realistically.
the original actor, I think they handled Judd a little bit better in
Me
this.
too.
I wanted more of him, but I think they handled him better because in the original,
I think
you
they-
you get kind
But
of
he
mad
didn't
at him.
he didn't have that warmth of the original Judd.
Oh,
though.
no, definitely.
Yeah, and
You
he kind of
can't.
helped the plot move along. So
Uh-huh.
he kind of was like the narrator. It's like kind of like telling you. What's
Yeah,
going
do
on.
all the backstories.
And
In this one, it's more.
Yeah, this one it's just like, all right, hey, don't do this, and then like he's off screen.
Yeah,
But it
and he's doing research and he's looking up all this stuff. So
Yeah.
stuff that was explained to us by Judd in the original, he kind of discovers for
modernized
himself,
it,
modernize it
yeah.
on computers and shit.
Yeah.
No, just go listen to your neighbor, crack open a
Exactly.
beer, have a moment. I see what you're saying, Joe. I see what you're saying now. But regardless, the characters are very strong. But more importantly, I feel that the themes in the film were done well. Obviously, we're talking about the loss of loved ones. We're talking about death. This one even goes into sort of the afterlife. What happens when you're dead? God versus science. God, the doctor versus religious people kind of thing. The idea of that. And it plays with that to a surprising degree. Even in the third act, you're like, oh shit, what is happening here? You know? And so I thought that was handled well. But I wouldn't say it's like a scary film.
No.
You know what I mean? That's the only
There was
problem
a couple
with
jump
it.
scares that
Jump scares?
Yeah, there was a couple
That's
of
what
them.
they were.
Okay.
There were tense moments that I think they did a good job like translating from the like reading the book. I remember parts being like, I don't know what's going to happen, and seeing the first movie, same thing. And I think that translates here too. There's some parts where like someone goes to the pet cemetery and you're just kind of waiting.
The
And there's-
trailer's kind of deceptive.
Yeah.
You know, they got this little kids with masks and rituals going to force them. Like, is this going to be like
Nope.
like the ritual or like no the Wicker Man? Is this going to be kind of like that? It's not. It's not. Luckily, it focuses in on the book source material, and in fact, they even find a way to inject a character that the original film left out from the book in here. And I think they really play with sort of the demonic undertones of the film, and I think some of that is handled better. And it enhances one of the biggest things that we've got to talk about from the original that scared me as a child, more so than a cat coming back. I love the cat, by the way. I'm a big fan of the cat.
This
I
character's
wanted
good.
the cat to have more crazy eyes. I don't think the cat ever went crazy eyes.
Like
I
lazy
wanted
eye?
fucking crazy eyes.
there was a there was
There
a
was
couple
one
scenes.
scene of
yeah,
the cat
at
going
least a
crazy
couple,
eyes. Okay, but you know that cat always had. I just love that cat, and it wasn't really. And then of course, you know, obviously burying, you know, going one step further and burying people, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that scared me the most was Zelda. Okay.
Yeah.
That idea of Zelda, Rachel, like having to take care of somebody that's like grotesque and, you know, just and they're relying on you, and you as a child, it's too much for you to handle, and you're home alone, and it's oppressive, and all those things, and to see it was scary as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I saw the movie recently. It's not anywhere as scary as I thought it was, you know.
It's still pretty scary.
It is a little scary, but you had to get that right as a huge Pet Sematary fan, and I think that they took that idea. I was like, please don't fuck up Zelda, don't fuck up Zelda, and they do something different with Zelda, and I think it's executed fantastically. I think it adds a new dimension to the Zelda character.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on
What?
Yeah, to me,
I don't like when mommy and daddy fight.
How dare you,
No,
Joe?
on this take, it felt like they were really hammering Zelda in your face. I was like, yes, that was creepy. The way you were describing it, you were using your imagination, and I loved that. Because they were like, this is just one part, but you took it and like
I took
the
it further?
a whole another level. I was like, that is what the
What you
imagination
wanted.
was, and now it's just like, oh, here's Zelda, she's creepy. Here she is.
Huh.
They're just showing, like, shoving it in
But
his face.
I think they they expanded on it, and well, I get what you're saying. I could see how a little bit, but I just think that it's hard to talk about without saying
Yeah,
any
it
spoilers. So
is.
we'll argue more.
Well,
in the spoiler
I'm
section.
right in the middle because
Yeah?
I liked the original. It scared that actor because we just learned recently
Yeah,
that that's
it's
actually
a
an actor.
man
and
playing
it
the
scared
original.
the shit out of me
yeah.
as a little kid. And I think they did a really good job here. They added some stuff. They
It makes
expanded.
the idea of Zelda way more scary.
Yeah, they expanded on a lot of things, and I think they did a pretty good job with it. I think they kind of laid it on a little thick, which I think is one of his gripes in certain parts to it. But I liked it. I think they did.
But everybody that sees Pet Cemetery comes away talking about Zelda.
Oh, for
and
sure.
so I think
Or
that's why they leaned into
the other
that.
play where he's like with his cane. What was his name?
Oh, the Amico with his
Yes.
cane.
where he's dressed up as Zelda in that weird
All right,
dress.
So, it's to me, it's a sufficient remake. I wouldn't say it's hard for me to say. Does it surpass the original? For me, no, because the original is one of those lightning in a bottles. The acting is so over the top, and there's silly parts to it. There's gross parts. There's scary parts. There's dealing with the loss of child. Like the original Pet Cemetery pushed buttons, and I thought it was interesting, even though it's hokey and dumb, and you can laugh at it and you can do commentary. But it's an experience to watch. I highly recommend it. So this doesn't really pass the original. If somebody were to say, I could watch one Pet Cemetery, which one do I watch? I'd tell you to watch that one. But I would tell you to watch this one because it has some unique spins on it, and I think it does a good job updating it for modern audiences. So let's jump into, even though a certain person over here disagrees with me, it's the first time me and Alex are against Joe. So let's go to our final ratings. Let's start with Alex.
So if I actually kind of disagree with you on what you kind of just said about if you
Now you're trying to.
No.
You can't.
No.
I see how it is.
No,
just because
well,
you're
yeah,
on
yeah.
that side and I'm on this side.
Yeah.
What do you disagree?
So if someone said, which Pet Cemetery should I watch? I'm not automatically going to send them the first one. The first one
I'm sending
is,
them to the first. You're sending them to this one?
it depends, right?
Interesting.
The first one is culturally important.
Yes.
It's
That's
like
why
the
I do
Goonies,
it.
right?
Yeah.
But if someone says, I want to watch an actual like adventure movie, you can make them watch the Goonies. Like, no, I mean, most of that, my love for that
Yes.
movie is like nostalgia and all the other things that come along with it. And Pet Cemetery, the first one, not scary. That little kid in a dress and with all the dolls flying around, kind of silly. This one is a better horror film. I still like the first one better, but this was a horror film, and it tried
I can see
to
that.
take the original one. It tried to cut out some of the hokiness, which is going to piss people off. It tried to update some of the gripes that people had.
Yeah.
I think they did a really successful
Improve
job. with it.
motivations.
Motivation's a big thing because in the first one, you're looking at these characters do stuff, and you're like, man, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And this one kind of explains some things.
Yes.
And they fix some of the little side
With the
characters.
demonic influence.
For sure. So I think that this one we just saw today is a better horror film. And I think it's a serviceable horror film. It's not great, but I think it's pretty good, above average. You should go
But
see it
you
this
don't-
weekend.
but-
See Shazam first,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
see this movie.
Yeah,
I
Shazam.
think this is a 7 out of 10.
But you don't disagree with me, Alex, because I will agree with everything you just said. The only thing we disagree on is watch the original. He says watch this one.
If you want a horror film, for sure.
If you want a horror film, no, I'm with you. If you
Okay.
want a horror film, watch that one. If you want to watch something that's everything and that you'll laugh about and have a good time and become maybe a fan like we are, watch the original, then watch this one.
Sure.
Joe,
Yes. Oh, my turn.
Mr. Don did not like it.
The acting was good.
Okay.
No outstanding performances by anybody. By
Right.
any means.
John Lithgow was amazing.
Jason
The
Clark,
lack-
I don't know
the
what's
lack
with the
of
father. I don't
John
like
there.
that guy.
You just don't like that guy.
It's just a flat performance. When there's a moment, there's supposed to be scream out loud moment. He doesn't scream. He doesn't do anything. He like lays. I'm like, you know
he was
what?
crying.
Like I said,
No.
All right,
performances weren't very
we'll talk
good.
about it in spoilers.
Yeah, performances weren't very good. I didn't really feel like the tension that you speak of. Yes, there were some jump scares, But the first one had better tension, and the gore way better. I love the gore in the first one.
Oh, in the first one?
Gore in the
Oh,
first
yeah.
one?
Yeah.
There's not any gore in the first one.
Yes, there was. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
If you've seen the first one, might as well. Don't watch the second one. Skip Pet Sematary 2. Watch
You
this
watched it
one.
twice in 48 hours.
This is why I'm telling you.
Why
I'm
he's
an
the expert on this.
Do not watch 2. Watch this one instead. Forget that 2 ever happened. Speaking about 2, towards the end, I started getting some of Pet Sematary 2.
In the last 30
Pet
seconds.
Sematary 2
I was
vibes.
like, what are you doing?
Oh my
What are you
God,
doing?
Joe! I know
Let's
what you're
back
saying.
it up, guys. Let's not get too crazy here.
We'll talk about that in
Yeah,
spoilers.
yeah.
So maybe that's what
No.
pissed Joe off because
Yeah.
Joe hates Pet Sematary 2.
This is a 5 for me. It was just an average film. They didn't.
Wow.
I was excited for it.
I
too.
think this
Right.
is a good Stephen King film. Wow. Okay. Well, Joe, I can't. That's yours. That's your opinion, and I can't try. I want to convince you.
You can try.
I've tried the whole time. I've been trying in the spoilers. All right.
yes.
So my final verdict is an 8 out of 10. I think that it updates the film wonderfully for modern audiences. It improves certain motivation. It improves some of the creepy and the supernatural kind of elements to it to explain some things. And it does change some things. It changes one huge critical thing that we'll talk about in spoilers. And I learned about this, unfortunately, before I saw the film. The fucking trailer sucks, by the way. The trailer spoils several things. But I learned about something before I saw it, and I went in pissed. I had high expectations for this film. And I went in, I'm not going to like this. I know I'm not going to like it. It happens, and I'm like, okay. I can see. And I've read interviews saying it was a really difficult decision for them to make, but ultimately it made more sense to them at the time, and it gave them their own unique spin. And I think it does give this film its own unique spin so that it can live alongside the original Pet Sematary. I still think the original Pet Sematary is a far more entertaining watch and one that you need to see, but this one is an effective horror film. When I go around telling, like, what horror films do you like? I'm gonna tell you like Babadook. I'm gonna tell you one of the Conjurings. Some of these really scary ones, and then I might even throw in Pet Sematary, both of them, because this one I thought was really well done, and so I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. I think that it's done very well. It's not super scary, but it's just unsettling. It's creeping. It deals with a lot of elements: death, life, afterlife, children. Pet Sematary. Come on. Anyways, so those are our final verdicts. Now let us get crazy and get angry in the spoiler section as we argue with each other. All right.
Set loose.
So we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.